Hey, good morning, guys. I'm using some sort of stand that somebody gave me until I figure out how it works. I'm still holding it up with my hand. I can't seem to zoom when it's pointing at me. I'll work at it. But anyways, a lot been going on. I've been a little busy. My son starts to school next week. He's not looking forward to it. Um, if I could, I'd homeschool him. But I don't have the resources or the time to do that. We are a two paycheck family. My wife works, I work. The only reason why I am still keeping them in school is because we live in a small Texas community and it's not completely woke yet. So I feel comfortable still taking him. Now, if I was in LA or Chicago or New York or Minnesota, don't get me started on that. Minnesota. Come on. All right. Dog wanted in. Anyways, if I lived in either one of these big woke cities and states, then yeah, I would consider it. Folks, oh my God, I wake up every day. How are we still here? I kid you not, we are on borrowed time. I really don't think it's long now. I've heard from a source that they are practicing for the red heifer sacrifice. Now, if it was just one source, I would sit on this. But I heard it from like 4 or 5 different people yesterday. The same story. Even some of them are very reliable. Like, I don't know if you've heard of Britt Gillette. He covered it. Watchwoman 65, Lisa, she covered it. Among others. In fact, I'll keep my eye on it today. I bet you even Tom Cody at Watchman River will cover it. So when 4 or 5 different people are saying the same thing, then you know it's true. What's that? When in the Bible it says when you have 2 or 3 different witnesses together. Well, when you hear about 4 or 5 different people, I lost count. There's multiple channels covering the same thing. Then they are practicing for that sacrifice. Now, they need to get the show on the road because those cows, the red heifers, at one point will be too old to be considered. I think it's 3.5 years. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's 3.5 years. And then they're disqualified because then they start getting gray. Their color starts to change. So they got to do it now. They got to do it now. The world is in total chaos. Like I said, give me some time on the stand. I'll work on it. It's kind of cool. It turns into a tripod. Like I said, I didn't know how to zoom in with my camera, so I'll work on it. Thank you for that. I know you know who sent me it. Kind of cool. Yeah. Anyways, I see the democracy in the U.S. crashing and burning. Well, Richard, you're a negative Nancy. You're a Debbie Downer. No, I'm a realist. When I pick up my Bible and I see nowhere it mentioned American Bible prophecy. I mean, it is mentioned from the point of view that the whole world will follow the Antichrist. East, west, north, south, they will follow the Antichrist when we're gone. That includes America. But as a major player, America is not. I cannot see them letting Trump back into power. Negative Nancy, Richard. Well, I see Kamala Harris and that nut job from Minnesota getting into the White House. There's another dog that wants in. Goodness. Come on. All right. Sorry about that. Look. Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, you may not like this part of the video, and some of you hate when I talk about politics, but Kamala Harris, and there's a reason why she's staying out from behind the podium. She took like 2 minutes worth of questions the other day. But she's crazy. They're demanding what her stance is on Israel, and she refuses to answer. Well, we know where it stands. The Bible itself says that Israel will be by themselves in the end times. And if there's an election, I still don't think there is. I hope we go home sooner than later. Exhausted, guys. Anyways, if she is elected in, and I truly think she will, you are looking at the next Venezuela. That's where we're headed. Think about it. Patriotism here in the U.S. is dead. When I was in high school, and we went into when Saddam Hussein attacked our country, we went in and wiped the floor with him. The media tried to go anti-war. It didn't work. The country stood together on that. When 9/11 happened, the patriotism was really strong here in America. I remember I was a tech at the time when 9/11 hit. It was a Wednesday. I don't remember. Most of the student body stood in a circle in the center of the university grounds, hand by hand, praying. After 9/11 happened, you think that would happen now? No. Now, we like to burn down cities, kill cops, murder babies, take away our kids from their parents. And they say, I think I'm a girl. Minnesota, for example, will take away their children without their consent of their parents. We have fallen into a corrupt state. The country is in chaos, not just us, worldwide. God is long-suffering. God is patient. But his patience is running thin. I had a dream the other day. I still remember it. It wasn't a rapture dream. I still remember it. So, and there's something to it if I still remember it. I was at my house, not the one I'm here now, at my parents'. Now remember, I went to visit them a couple weeks ago. And I was at my friend's house. Down the corner. Sad thing is, they recently put their house on the market. He's 3 years younger than me. It's a sad day when they put that house on the market because I grew up in that house. I spent a lot of my time at their house when they put it on the market. He sent me the link to the real estate. Sad day. I was at their house. And we've been having a lot of earthquakes here in Texas. I actually felt one a couple of weeks ago. We all did at work. Shook the building. We're like, whoa, what was that? It was an earthquake. What? They actually sent an earthquake email at work. And this is an email I never thought I'd get. What to do in an earthquake? What? It's Texas. Anyways, it was rumbling. I stepped outside, and there was a volcano erupting. And I see my house burst into flames. And I see these like fire fissures, what do you call those? Blowing like geysers, but they're blowing fire, popping up all over the ground. I woke up, kind of weird. What was weird about it is, let me bore you with a little bit of Texas geography. I can see the video clicking off all across my 100 views. Nope, I get more. Let me stop for a second. For all my new subscribers, I'm not an everyday video person. I'll get on here and shoot a video when I felt to do so. Let me continue. Let me bore you with a little bit of Texas geology and geography. If you want to see mountains here in Texas, you go into the Great Bend area called the Guadalupe Mountains. Out east of us is the Piney Woods. Beautiful country out there. Just pines and woods, and East Texas is beautiful. West Texas consists of what we call, not a lot of people know this, the Lotto Estacado, which is the biggest mesa in the world. It covers all of West Texas and into New Mexico. And we don't have very many mountains. What you see on TV, the cacti and those weird mountain looking things, those are all shot in Monument Valley in Utah. And then they call it Texas. That's not Texas. We've had the stereotype that that's what Texas looks like. We don't have that kind of cacti in West Texas. I've driven to West Texas. If I didn't stop for gas in Snyder on the way up to Lubbock, and if I ran out of gas, I would be in, as Monkey would say, deep kimchi. You don't want to run out of gas in West Texas. All right, that's enough of that. I just thought that was weird. All of my dreams are chaos and destruction. That's why I can't sleep. Every morning, it's the same thing. I wake up 3 in the morning, go to the bathroom. After waking up from a bizarre dream, some of which I can remember, most I can't. And I lay awake and just talk to God. The whole Olympics are a joke. I'm not going to sit here and talk about the opening ceremonies. I'm sure y'all have heard it before, and I don't want to rehash it. They have forced that garbage onto me every working day while I'm at work. I cannot wait for the closing ceremonies. I'm done with the Olympics. It's not that some of those are inappropriate, like scantily clad women playing volleyball and diving in the pools. I'm just not that much into sports anymore. There's more things to worry about than watching football. I haven't watched a Dallas Cowboy game in 5 years, and I couldn't care less. Whenever I was off on Sundays, I was usually watching J.D. Farag. He comes on at 2 here. 1 o'clock when the time changes. Not about football anymore. Anyways, I got off on that. Just hang tight, guys. The world is in chaos. The world is in chaos. The Middle East is a powder keg. Most of the nations in Africa are in upheaval. Sudan, Kenya, Somalia, they're all in total chaos. Venezuela, should the Lord tarry, is America headed that way? Yep. Have you heard from Joe Biden since he announced he wasn't running again? All right, Joe, you can go back to the basement. He disappeared. Where's Joe? Who's running this thing? Who's running this thing? Joe Biden ain't around anymore. All right, Joe, here's your ice cream. Go back to your little corner in the West Wing. Never in my life did I think the U.S. would be in this state. And no, Trump isn't going to save us. Goodness, I'm so sick of Trump. Stay encouraged. Stay encouraged. Look around. God is shouting out his last warning to, hey, get on the train now. We're all boarding the rapture train. It's fixing to depart. We are fixing to depart. Oh my goodness. Hey, are you listening? Stay encouraged. Stay encouraged. Acts 13, 38 and 39, therefore let it be known to you, brethren, that through him forgiveness of sins is proclaimed to you, and through him everyone who believes is freed from all things from which you could not be freed through the law of Moses. When Jesus died on the cross, it's no longer about the law of Moses. If you're standing in judgment, hey, I'm a good person. I'll walk little old ladies across the street. That ain't going to get you. It's all about Jesus. 1 Corinthians 15, 3 and 4, for I had delivered to you as of first importance that what I had also received, that Christ died for our sins according to Scripture, and that he was buried, and that he was raised on the third day according to Scriptures. He is the first fruits. He had to shed his blood for us. He had to shed his blood. He had to shed his blood. Like they used to shed the lamb's blood to atone for their sins for the year. He's the final sacrifice. He's the final, that's why they don't need the red heifer, but they don't realize that yet. They will during the tribulation. When they realize the Antichrist isn't their guy, and they realize, oh, we nailed our guy to a tree thousands of years ago. What have we done? Then they'll jump on board. 1/3 of them, though. 2/3 of them will perish. Kind of sad if you think about it. Romans 10. Redo this. Romans 10:13. For whosoever will call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. Couldn't be that simple. Guys, we got wars. We got wars breaking out everywhere. We got troops being sent to Israel. We got the Ukraine now going into Russia. Now they just won't stop. Thanks to us. Thanks to us. Is there going to be an election? I want to know what you think. I don't think so. No election. Number one, if there's an election, my top thing is I don't think there's going to be an election. Number two, if there's an election and you have a blueprint to do this, Harris and Minnesota nuts will get in. They won't allow Trump in. And if by chance, Trump squeaks in, what they're going to do is the left is not forgetting about that insurrection. What they're going to do is they will give the charges of insurrection to Congress. They will try Trump there in Congress. And if they convict him, they'll disqualify him from being president, and he won't be president for that reason. The only reason why the Supreme Court didn't toss him off the ballot because they never charged him. That was their big reason. He was never charged. Well, that's their ace in the hole. That's their Hail Mary backup plan should the election go the way they don't want it to go. Either way, Trump's not getting in. Negative Nancy, Richard. Yeah, I'm just calling it like it is. He's not getting in. You don't like what I'm saying? I'm sorry. This world is not the same as the one that we grew up in. This world, this country is divided. It is. Anyways, I've yammered on enough. I gotta go to work. I gotta be there at 8 now. It is now 6:50. Just people get on board because we're running out of time. Like, share, subscribe, or don't watch. I'm just shocked I still have 400 subscribers. Hey, I'm not a numbers guy. Never was. My tone and demeanor on these videos, some people don't like it. I have a dry sense of humor. I'm not going to sit in here and crack jokes, because none of them are funny. My wife has never laughed at my jokes. Yeah. Yeah, if the world is in chaos, like the 2 clown cars that got involved in the accident up in New York. Did y'all hear about that? 2 clown cars, horrible. Over 50 clowns died. See, that was my attempt at telling a joke. Probably my audience groaned and turned off the video then. Sorry. My jokes are never funny. All right, I've done enough. God bless. Peace out.